of cycle update. CZ Binance once said Binance doesn't need offices. Richard Teng disagrees. CryptoTalk.fm, my name is Lystra, I'm your host. Binance is now reaching out to try to get some physical presences, offices. CZ Binance once notably said that Binance does not need a physical presence. This has caused challenges from a regulatory perspective. Many of these countries expect you to have a physical nexus, as it's referred to, as in a physical building that is your home office, place for registered agent, etc. when you're applying for licensing and you're trying to be compliant with the laws. Binance, for years, has shunned this. They've said, no, we don't need to do that. We don't want to do that. Binance's new CEO, Richard Teng, totally contradicts it in the new world of Binance, basically saying, you know what, we're mature now and we need to grow up. We need to get these physical presences because we want to be covered regulatory. We want to be a strong exchange. We want to do things right. There were also some other downstream impacts. One of their executives, who actually is a U.S. citizen, is facing some tax ducking charges out in Nigeria. CEO wants to bring that person back to the United States and help resolve it with Nigerian authorities, and that makes it hard when you're not under regulatory scrutiny. When you're not following the letter of the law, it makes it hard for you to then make a plea on behalf of your executives. This is normal in business. If you have a physical nexus, and with a physical nexus doesn't mean you have to force your employees to be there. Now, obviously, there is an expectation that you're going to be there. It doesn't mean that. It simply means that you have a registered place of business, a place that you operate central, that all your employees are expected to be housed out of or based out of. And that's simply not been the case. And it makes it harder for them to be taken seriously at an exchange. So this is a huge shift in my personal opinion, and I love to see what it is. I like to see them growing as an exchange. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what does that mean in order for the United States? Well, very most recently, Richard Teng also had named its first, or Binance, but Richard Teng's one of them. Binance named its first board of directors to satisfy United States regulators, establishing physical entities in places like Malta and Singapore to comply with those, which opens the door for them to consider doing the same thing in the United States. This is huge news. I can't stress enough how big this is to see them at least trying to do stuff right. And it tells us that CZ Binance was just doing almost cussed stuff, shady under the bridge, and just sneaking by, and it was holding back the exchange. Now, Binance is arguably, its traffic is not going to go down. If anything, it's going to go up, especially if they focus on other countries than the United States. I think it's really more about Binance.us and adding some credibility for Binance.us, lightening up some of the, like the KYC requirements. I did that years ago, and they never did get back to me. Hopefully, they cleaned it up and they make it a viable alternative for people in the United States. That would make them a strong competitor for people like Kraken. Let's watch this. Let's keep an eye on this one and see where it goes. But I think it's good. I think it's an indictment on CZ, but I think it's good. And I think other exchanges should follow suit. Instead of ducking the United States, I think they should embrace acting like a real business. Ultimately, that's what we're talking about here. Even if they don't comply with U.S. regulations, at least act like a real business so there's at least the specter that you're trying. I think it's all we can ask for, and more should do it. The Gate.ios of the world and some of these other ones that ran and ducked the smoke. We also have to look at how this affects the broader cryptocurrency exchange marketplace, because right now, again, you've got Robinhood, you got Kraken, and certain other ones that comply, Coinbase, with United States regulations, and they're the go-to, but they don't offer a lot of these cryptocurrencies that some people may want to trade. So if Binance can help make some inroads through Binance.us and become a strong competitor, that may open up options for trading certain cryptocurrencies that you couldn't do on those other exchanges. So keep tuned. We'll keep an eye on this one. Hopefully it turns out to be what I think it should be.